Hello and welcome to the apocalypse, people. I'm Monde.
It's very quiet.
That was Silver.
And I'm Super Mage.
All right, go fuck yourself. Oh my god.
Mix and match, even though that has nothing to do with our episode today.
I'm sure at some point it did. Today we are doing a very fun episode. We're going to take a trip to the past. We're going to do childhood cartoons. Silver, you want to talk about the card and the parameters for this episode? Or you want me to?
I think Monty's the one who picked the categories this round.
That is right. He did lose. Tough break, kid.
Yes.
Tell us about the card.
The card is the categories. I was going to give our blind listeners a detail what the card looks like.
They can actually see the card because it is our image for the episode.
Yeah.
Perfect. But for the audio listeners, it is a card that says the categories we are doing is plot understandability. Number 1 is nonsense, and number 2 is number 10 is masterwork. Yeah, that's right. We're grading from 1 to 2 today. I might have a better chance.
Yes.
Next one is modern cancelability. Number 1 would be if the show was too interesting for the viewers.
Interesting. That's a good word.
It would be canceled immediately. And number 10 would be it would go on forever. So if anybody picked Teen Titans Go, it's an instant 1 because that shit needs gone. But that shouldn't be in the list. It doesn't meet our year. Oh, yes. And excitability. Number 1, you hated it when it came on. You're like, oh, this is just filler. I don't want to deal with it. Is there something else on? And number 10 is you're hollering for your brothers, your family, your cousins to come to the TV. It's on. It is on.
I like that.
And we are using shows that are from 1992 to 2007. Because that's about the time we were all about the same age.
Yeah. Well, specifically, that's when like you clicked online to when I was 12. So like the whole shebang there. And I would venture to guess most of our shows are going to be from like 2000 to like 2007 is probably more of the area. At least for me, for sure.
I'm old.
Yeah. Yeah.
All you young bucks.
Even though realistically you're 3 years older than me. I was like...
Wait a minute.
All right. I will spin the wheel to see which one of us goes first. And leading us off is going to be Crow Hogan.
Fuck.
Now, who would that be?
I don't know. Maybe the one who always uses the Blackwing monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh!
They're good.
They are.
Sue me.
I also use them.
Yeah, they're really good.
Used them first.
You did use them first. I use them on Master Duel. But that will be Silver leading us off. What you got for us to start, Silver?
Okay, so the show I'm leading us off with, I could go with a real easy one that I know I pander really well to you, and that would probably take your high scoring one that we've said multiple times on this episode.
Hold on, pause before we get started too. That's the other thing. This is more going to be like, I think each of us is going to have 1 or 2 that are great, and then we're going to be like, okay, what's left?
I'm starting off with Nickelodeon.
Oh, okay. I hate you so
I don't
much.
like where this is going.
But I'm not doing the one I know will score high.
Okay.
I'm going with one that was started in 1998 and went all the way to 2004. And one of the voice actors in it is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That is the Wild Thornberries.
That's good.
Ooh,
I like
I
that.
forgot about the. Damn.
Wild Thornberries being a children's TV show. And we talked about earlier that I liked animals. It's where Eliza Thornberry got ability to talk with animals. Her and her family traveled around. They found a random boy in the middle of the rainforest. They picked him up and kept traveling with him, trying to teach. The young boy was Donnie,
Mhm.
but they also had a Darwin, who was, I believe, was he a
Monkey.
chimp?
I think he was a chimp, yeah. Because he wasn't like a gorilla.
Yeah, he was too small for a gorilla, and he didn't have a tail for a monkey. So I
I think
think
he
he
was
was
an
a
ape.
chimp. Yeah, yeah, but they
Some sort of
traveled
a
around the
primate.
world. Yeah, to do looking at animals. They were nature photographers.
They were pretty much a Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
Yes, they traveled around their RV. They had Eliza had an older sister named Debbie, who was like the teen. Uh,
She
what am
was
I
meant
trying
to
to
be
say?
a valley girl.
Yes,
Yeah, she was meant to be a valley girl. And I think she's the only one. She's the only one that knows about Eliza's power.
I
Darwin
think
does
she
as well.
just.
The animal.
Well, duh.
I think she just suspects about Eliza's power because the rules to Eliza's power was she was not allowed to tell anybody because if they were to find out, she
Gotcha.
would lose her power.
Okay.
Mhm.
So she must like have a pretty good hunch, but she can't confirm it, obviously.
She just thinks she's weird. She talks to a monkey all day.
Yeah.
My favorite fact about the show is that the dad is voiced by Tim Curry. He's like
Smashing.
he's a huge horror movie like actor, but voiced a kid's TV show dad. That's awesome.
They gotta
Well,
start somewhere.
the voice of Eliza Thornberry, the main
Mhm.
character, is also the voice of Zatanna Zatara from like Young Justice.
Really?
Uh-huh.
God, that was such a good show. Spoiler alert for mine.
Also, Betty White was in the show.
What?
Yeah,
Which?
3 episodes back in 2000.
So I would have put her like what, like 90s, 80s?
Oh, she was 80. She was 80s for sure. Because she just turned 100, I think.
She didn't make it to 100.
Yeah, she was like 2 days before or something like that.
Yeah,
But
she
that was like
looked like
last year.
76.
Yeah, she's close.
She's in her prime.
No, no, she was not.
Betty White is all prime.
Oh my god. Who wants to
Like
go
Transformers.
first?
I can go first.
Go ahead.
The Wild Thornberries. I can't believe that one slipped my mind.
Yeah, I totally blanked on this one.
The plot understandability. I mean, there wasn't much plot, so there was.
It was episodic. They just went episode by episode.
I would compare it to another show, but it would also be taking one off my list to how its plot goes.
So can't do that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a 5 for plot because they literally jumped from thing to thing. There was no like consistency them traveling. It was them just going. It's like,
Yes
oh,
and
now we're in this
no.
place.
Because they did that, like, the whole idea of the show is that they shoot this, like, TV show.
A
So like,
documentary.
yeah, it's a documentary on like the animals. So like they do have an overarching story, but it's just like it's not very like linear.
Okay, I'll
They
give it
got
a
slow
6.
steps from
It's
moving with
yeah.
getting Donnie and the powers to
It's a
eventually
lot of
give it a-
filler.
returning
It's
Donnie.
a lot of
Yeah.
filler.
It
I'll
is.
give it a 6.
Okay. You're welcome. So
Cancelability.
I like that you can't say that word.
I don't see they could get it canceled. I mean, unless people are out there in the woods like looking for lost children to adopt,
yeah.
then people out there trying to save wild boars and then magically turn into like the tribesmen that gives them the power.
People thinking it's okay to just touch rhinos.
Smashing.
Oh wow, this ape is hurt. I would take it as a pet. That's probably not great.
Oh wow, I'm gonna leave my 13-year-old daughter to watch after my like 8-year-old daughter and a
Yeah.
chimpanzee and a wild monkey boy.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 9. It could go on forever, but it didn't. Like, there's still potential there if the horror movie actor would come back.
Yeah,
Because let's be honest, the voice would bring everybody back because of all the memes.
And
His
this
face,
show also
he's
has so much memes.
he is so like he's supposed to be British and he is portrayed, I'm gonna put it in chat. He's portrayed as the most like stereotypical British guy ever. The biggest nose, the dumbest teeth. His
The
eyes are on
redhead.
like different planets.
Don't forget the ginger.
Oh my gosh.
But for excitability, I mean, it was a good one to holler for, so I'll give it a 7 for excitability. It's like, thornberries are on. Cool, on the way.
So 697? Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, I think that's our most sporadic score.
22.
Pretty good. Above
Yeah.
the 20s. It was
so
also educational. It taught people about animals.
Okay. I will say plot understandability. I'm gonna say the same, probably about a 6. It does have a little bit of a plot, but not much. It does jump around a lot. There's a lot of filler. Modern cancelability. I'm gonna say like an 8. Because there is like I don't remember them talking about like the whole be safe around animal stuff a lot. I know they touch on it a little bit, but not enough, I don't think. And they show them doing some pretty dangerous stuff, so not great. And excitability, I will say this is probably like an 8. I loved this show. It was great.
Yes.
So I think that's also a 22 for me. 688.
That was just my first wild card of the game.
Get fucked. And I will spin the wheel to see who goes next.
Smashing.
And next is Jack.
Oh, Mr. Meoff. That must be Monde.
Oh my god.
I joked on my McFlurry, you bastard.
I can't wait to clip that. It is Mr. Jack Atlas.
Oh, Red Dragon.
That's you, bitch.
All right, I'm gonna start off with my strong card. You guys ready for this?
No.
This is a blast from the past.
All of these are blasts from the past.
This is gonna be a super blast from the past from 2003.
This is gonna be a reboot.
Nickelodeon or Rocket Power.
You forgot about Reboot, didn't you?
I didn't know if you knew about
Reboot. Of course I knew about Reboot.
I think that's
It's like
99.
92, I think.
Yeah, Reboot's fucking old. You know they're redoing it?
Are they? Are they rebooting it?
They're rebooting Reboot. Yeah, as soon as I said that, I was like, 94.
Damn.
So it fits.
That's older than Ruby.
Anyway, what's your show?
My show is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Which one?
I tried to look up fast forward, but it just loops it in with the normal, so I guess it's in the series at some point.
It's the 2003 version.
Yes.
I had it on my list also. I think it's technically TMNT is what they call it.
TMNT fast forward.
Yeah, fast forward is like it's like a later season of it.
That's like if you try to look up Pokemon Johto, just Pokemon Johto, it comes up the entire Pokemon series.
Yeah. Yeah, this was the 2003 TV series. Because they had there was Ninja Tribunal was one of the seasons, Fast Forward was one of the seasons, and then Back to the Sewer was another season.
The good old show of them getting flung into the future where they run into people's kids and they're like, wait, they had kids? And then they try to fight bad guys in the future with their modern weapons, and then they just get shattered and they have to go to a museum and get like their future weapons. But I'm pretty sure they were killed off into that future, which is when they came back, if I remember right. I was going solely off memory.
Yeah, I forgot a lot about this, but I'm reading through it and it's tickling a lot of the parts of my brain. I remember the Fugitoid.
If I remember right, it was Casey and April O'Neil's kids.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers if you haven't seen this.
Yeah. I guess we'll do a blanket spoilers for these shows, but like they've been out 20 years. Go watch them.
Yeah, if they sound interesting, go watch them. Especially some of the other ones that we have yet to mention.
I'm gonna help you with this one, just because I can't not. This show was so good.
It was.
It was just.
I remember getting done with our chores and then it coming on the TV and we all gathered around and watched it.
Oh, it was the best. I remember the later seasons, they had like Turtles Forever, which was when they met the original versions of them. In Back to the Sewer, they like fought like that was the Ultram Shredder, the guy we talked about before, with like the giant Shredder version, I believe.
The Turtles have come up on this stuff a lot because they are part of our childhood.
And this isn't even my favorite one of this show, but I like this one a lot. I like the original. I have the limited edition of the 87 show, so that's my favorite, obviously.
The 87 didn't fall into our year list.
No. Because you would have bet that would have been my first choice. Okay. So I think I'm starting for you.
Yeah, I started with Silver.
Plot understandability, I'm gonna say an 8, just because there's so many seasons of it. If you start in like season 6, you got no fucking idea what's going on. But I think you can understand a lot of it, so I'm gonna say an 8. Modern cancelability, they talk about some fairly adult stuff, but I don't think it's anything that can really get you canceled. So I'm gonna say probably a 7. And excitability is a 10. This was my favorite show when it came on. I loved it. So that's going to be a 25 from me. For our blind viewers, Monde is just gone off the screen.
Because his wife stole his chair.
This is true. I have to sit on the floor like a peasant. Monde's wife, if you're listening to this, I am not bitching.
And Silver, you are up.
Uh-oh, he's got that look.
Tear him up. Tear him up.
Plot-wise, the general plot was pretty easy to follow. They got sent to the future, and they had to find a way back, pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, there was also like the intergalactic war that was happening that they helped with.
I mean,
it was like the Federation and the Triceratons or whatever.
That. Yeah. They could have just completely ignored that.
Yeah.
Even though I believe in the comics, I believe Mikey ended up marrying one of the Triceratons and having a kid.
Yeah, doesn't he like he like falls in love with one of them in the show, but I think he just leaves her.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but I think in the comics he does. He has a kid with one of them.
Comic TMNTs are more brutal.
If anyone is watching this and is a TMNT fan, side note, some of the best storylines you'll ever read. Like The Last Ronin is one of the greatest comics I think ever written. Highly recommend checking those out.
I believe there's still some filler in it though, so I'm gonna go with a 7. Cancelability, yeah, not much that can be really canceled for that I can remember, so I'm gonna go 7 as well. And excitability, it wasn't my favorite. I really like the theme song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fast forward.
That's like
I thought it went da 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 da.
Probably did.
just the original one too from it was really good. Turtles count it off.
I'm just going to go with a 7 as well for excitability because it wasn't really my favorite.
Mhm.
I'm not a big turtle head or shell head,
Turtle power.
so a 21 from me.
I like it.
Turtle power.
All right. And last but not least is Yusei Fudo. Me.
Oh, I see what we did here now.
Yeah. You got that?
Yeah.
I am going with
I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh!
And just for
5Ds
those
falls
who-
into this.
it doesn't. It's very close, but it doesn't.
And just for those wondering, Team and T Fast Forward was from WB, Kids WB.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then the first one, Wild Thornberries, was from Nick.
I said
I am also going to do a Nick show.
I didn't know we were doing a theme. I'm sorry.
What?
I skipped. I should have done a Nick show if we're doing a Nick round first.
Wait,
Oh, that's
don't
fine.
say yours. Don't say your Nick show. I'm going to message Monde what I'm going to think it is. Right,
I hate
where's
you
Monde?
because you're going to get it right. I talk about this show every single episode.
Where's Monde at?
God damn it.
Okay, so now Monde knows my guess.
I'm so mad because I know you're right.
All right, let's see it.
It's Avatar.
Yeah.
Of course.
Silver guessed it.
I am on record on the show saying that is my favorite show of all time. I've picked I think 3 characters on this show from that show. It is perfect. If I could do the meme of like Homelander, it was perfect. Perfect down to the last minute detail.
One might say it's smashing.
Smashing. So Avatar came out in, oh God, what year was this? Am I going to feel really old? 2005. Fuck me, I'm old.
It ended in 8? What? I feel like it did not end in 8.
I think it was earlier than that.
It says release date is 2005 of February 21st, and then ended the year 2008.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel
if
like
that's,
it should have had more.
I wonder if that's. I don't know if that's the premiere end date. I think that's like when they stopped airing it. Maybe. I'm not sure. Anyway,
it got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. But then again, so did Lamageddon.
No, okay, but that's fake. We know that's fake. Avatar was a show about Aang. He became the Avatar. He was the master of all 4 elements. This show taught you every life lesson. You learned about genocide. You learned about war. You learned about growing up. You learned about loss. You learned about love, life, everything. You learned about drugs. When they eat the cabbage juice, the cactus juice. You learned about small businessmen struggling out here with the cabbage man. Overcoming adversity. Toph.
Romeo and Juliet. What
Romeo
in the
and
blue
Juliet.
moon was that?
Sorry, that was my notification. I'm so fucking mad at you for guessing that. But
I can send you the picture of his guess.
He already did. But I stand by this is my favorite show. Zuko is one of the best characters ever written. Iroh is one of my favorite characters ever. He's very quotable. It's got so many spin-offs of. We played an Avatar campaign in D&D.
Yeah.
There's so many spin-offs.
And we just recently talked about today that they got the audiobooks on Audible.
We did. There's multiple series coming out about it. Korra was a great spin-off series. Didn't really live up to it, but the world it established, because there was so much there, they could expand on it and make it just so much bigger.
Blood bending.
They created different types of bending throughout the show. Who wasn't excited for that last battle between Fire Lord Sozin and the Avatar? Come on. Shut the fuck up. You know you were.
I was more in it
when
for
you see Aang
Zuko
reach his hand
versus
up and he has the swirling thing of the 4 elements and he brings it down and then he stops it and basically tells him, "You're not worth my time."
I mean, Aang is a pacifist.
He is a pacifist. We get to see this man hold his values. we talked about
Murder.
that, pacifist. Like you hit that person with a fireball, they're dead. They're gone. But yeah, that's Avatar. I don't really have to talk about it because you guys have both seen the whole thing.
Yeah. Plus a couple of episodes of recap.
A lot
Our
of the
listeners
episodes
are well known.
Yes.
Our listeners are well informed, I mean.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Silver.
Yes. My name is actually Crow Hogan. Anyways.
We're going to confuse the hell out of our listeners.
Plot-wise, 9. There is some plot holes that they didn't really talk to.
Few
seasons.
Few and far between, though.
Because I really wish they would have, hit the Ty Lee's ability a little harder with blocking the chi points where they couldn't bend.
That was cool.
Oh, Ty Lee!
That was really cool.
Monty's a Ty Lee fanboy. Cancelability, 10. You can't really cancel Avatar as they keep making stuff.
They even had, I think this ties into it. It not only is it not cancelable, they had probably the worst movie of all time they tried to make for the show, and it's still going.
Technically, the movie's not.
Well, no, but like the show is.
TV show.
Yeah.
They worst movie still was able to make another live action run.
Mm-hmm. Because the show is so good.
Which is, people debate about their new live action show a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was
for live
fine.
action. It's better.
I rated about Dragon Ball Z.
The new live action show?
Have you seen that?
Yeah. I've seen bits and pieces of it, and it didn't look very interesting. I rate it with the Dragon Ball Z live action.
That's tough. That's the worst movie ever made. So,
and that Dragon Ball Z is still going.
It's a cool premise. I don't think you can do live action Avatar. There's too much.
Well, there have been fans that have animated their own live action, but they're just short little bits that looked okay.
I'm gonna have to look back into it and see if I've seen fan art or real art.
You might have seen fan.
Maybe.
Excitability, probably go with 10. Because it was one of the better shows. Always waiting to see what antics they get into.
How often do we quote that show too?
Quite a bit.
Never.
You shut the fuck up. We literally,
that is a direct quote from Zuko.
Silver literally sent an Avatar meme. We got into a meme fight about it 2 days ago.
With all Avatar bits.
Avatar bits. My cabbages. I say that 5 times a day. Go ahead, Jack.
29 is my total for you.
I gotcha.
Yes, I am a Jack Assless.
Oh my god. Jack asshole, more like it.
Dumb bitch, get off. Okay, it's gone.
What?
I had a bug. I didn't like it.
Dumb bitch, get off.
There was a bug, and it was on my
Christ.
screen, and I didn't like it. It gone now. We good. Plot understandability. I'm gonna give it an 8, solely because they randomly just the only reason they find Aang is because Katara throws a huge fit with Sokka, and it's like, okay, plot armor, you're throwing the Aang right in the middle of the iceberg, like that they just so happen to find. And then
Would you
there's
rather
filler
they meet in the
episodes.
tavern? Would you
How
rather
would
they
you?
meet in
How
the
would you
tavern?
rather the meet?
Like the iceberg floating up against like the land, and then Katara being, oh look, there's somebody in here, and then Sokka sitting there with his boomerang trying to chip it out, because he
I
would sit
guess.
there and do it, because he has Boomy for like the whole episode, the whole series. Or he loses Moon Sword, doesn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah, and another thing, where the fuck the Moon Sword?
A meteorite. Did you miss that episode?
I must have missed that episode.
Mm.
Okay, for
He trained with the White Lotus fire and sword trainer.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
sword master. I can't think of his name. He ends up becoming his grandpa, I think.
Oh yeah, because he
It wasn't the
never mind.
island after the Kyoshi warriors.
No, it was a while. It was in book 3, the Fire Nation.
Yeah,
It was
it's in
after
book
he lost his
3.
boomerang, and
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 9 just because of the fact that if you miss an episode, you're like, what the fuck's going on? So you literally have to understand the plot.
Piandao.
Uh,
That's the sword master's name.
cancelability, I'm gonna give it an 8 because there are some parts in there where the girls like strip down to where like they're just in like suits and or they're a belly dancer show.
Also,
or
not to,
bathing suits.
hopefully not to lower your point anymore. It literally is about a genocide. Like, the show in itself is about a culture wiping out another culture.
Yeah, but that's nowadays anyway.
Oh,
And
man.
you can't cancel nowadays.
That's so fucking real.
That
Now
was
I'm
just a show ahead
sad.
of its time. I'll hold it at an 8.
Okay.
And
I'm surprised it hasn't been
excitability.
any. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I will also give it a 10 for excitability because it's like, hey, it's on. Get your ass in here. So 9, 8, 10.
Yeah, 27.
Yes.
I figured that was going to be a high one.
Disqualified. It goes into 2008. We only ran to 2007. We
Go
can't count the last
fuck
chapter.
yourself.
Last chapter's excluded.
Does it still have leaves on the vine? You still rate it that high. Silver, how do you... I'll cut this out. This is a side note. How do you get it to play over the podcast?
Oh, I gotta send the sound effects have a separate track. You mean like when I press the button like this?
Yeah.
It has a separate soundtrack I could download.
Oh, okay.
I just
Different.
never send it
Oh, that's fine.
like that.
Maybe once I get my soundbite folder more full, then I'll do that. But at this point, I don't really care. So
All
yeah,
right.
that was Avatar.
Now I feel
All
bad
right.
that I'm next after Avatar.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not that sorry. For those of you wondering, I think I won the first round. And now Silver will begin round 2. He is, for our blind viewers, he is contemplating.
I got several options. I'm trying to decide.
That's the other thing. This list is so vast. There's so many shows in here that we watched.
I don't remember if this one was Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network.
I'll correct you if you're wrong.
It's the first Isekai.
The first isekai.
Yes. Kind of an isekai.
Kind of an isekai.
Yes.
No idea.
The range for the show airing is 2003 to 2007.
Oh, I thought
It
it was gonna
lasted
be Digimon.
4 years. Well, actually, yeah, that is the first isekai. Digimon would be because it's before this one.
Yeah.
Good point.
This one's
4
kind
years.
of easy. This is transport to a video game world.
Is it Sword Art Online?
Nope.
No, that's not that
But
early.
They can freely go to the video game world and come back.
Code Lyoko!
Cartoon Network.
That's
correct.
so cool. I didn't have that on my list. Dang. That's the other thing.
That
There's
thing is,
so
I've
many
even
options.
talked about that one.
I love Code Lyoko.
Cold Lyoko is where a group of boarding school kids end up going to a factory that has a supercomputer in it. And Jeremy, the brains of the group, gets it working. And they can, when they go to the world, they go to clear towers. But when they're in the real world, the tower is like a super computer. Xana, yes. That is altering the real world.
It's
when
a
they clear the
virus, isn't
tower.
it?
Pretty much a phantom virus, because at one point in the show it takes over some people.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. And it can inhabit objects in the real world too.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then
'Cause I
everyone
remember
just goes, "What the heck's this?"
I remember the teddy bear. It like inhabits a teddy bear and it grows to like massive size.
Yeah.
That
Changes
was like the main
traffic
thing.
lights.
Mm-hmm. Creates pandemonium.
Yes.
Pretty much. And they got to stop it by going to this computer world and clearing the towers and shutting down its like hacking terminal.
Aelita.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the
Was that
girl
her
that's
name?
stuck in the game, and they're trying to free Alita.
Her father created the computer and created the
And
world of Lyoko.
and trapped her in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, didn't mean to, but accidentally.
It was another man wanting to create a homunculus, and then he used his daughter, but with the supercomputer.
Oh
They had
no!
powers. They had ninja abilities.
Because there was
Trappers.
I remember Odd was the cat.
Yeah.
He had like claws. He could shoot the little arrows.
Yumi was the fangirl, wasn't she?
She had the little fans.
Then Ulrich had the
Ray.
sword.
Oh, Ulrich. Yeah, that's his name.
I don't memorize names, I promise.
Yeah, Ulrich. And then later in the show, is it William?
Yeah.
I think William only shows up a couple times, because then he bails out.
Well, he's bad.
Yeah.
He's like the villain in like the later season.
The surprise villain.
Mm-hmm. God, what a show.
And fun fact, they did make a live action with Code Lyoko.
I remember that.
When? I don't
I
even...
believe you.
It was an anime, right? Or...
No, it was live action. It was actual people.
Huh. I think I remember you telling me about this. I think I watched an episode or something.
Yeah, it's about up there with the Avatar movie.
Bad. Got it. Monde, you are first.
Flippin' Silver, Code Lyoko. It was
sounded
such
like
a good show.
about it.
The plot understandability, it was slow. It was really slow.
This is very similar to Wild Thornberries.
They had to
Where
make
it
it
was
4
like
years.
it was the same plot.
It switched plots when they finally decided to get Aelita out of the system,
Mm-hmm.
and they realized they couldn't without freeing Xana. Because Xana was trying to piggyback off Aelita, and then that wasn't going to work. But they did.
Jeremy, who is a 12-year-old child, was like, "Oh, by the way, I can just magically do this."
Yeah, I'm just going to create your body back.
Yeah, we got it. It's fine.
So for plot understandability, I'm going to give it an 8. Cancellation, I can't think of anything that it did. I'm going to have to give it a 10 because it would have went on forever, I bet.
Mm.
They probably just lost the budget.
They finally beat Xana.
Yeah, I guess.
They just didn't have any subplots to keep going.
Xana has a
Some
child.
stuff does end.
I don't like it when stuff ends. It's good.
Not everything can be Pokemon.
Everything needs to be like One Piece.
One Piece has an ending. It's just super long, like Lord of the Rings.
And the excitability, I'm gonna give it an 8 because it was one of those where it's like, hey, it's on, get in here.
Mm-hmm. Dang, that's a 26.
I like Code Lyoko.
Yeah, fair.
Hence why all their names are still in my head.
Okay. So I also like Code Lyoko. Plot understandability, I'm gonna say 7 because they will do things and then take it back a couple episodes later, so it does get pretty confusing. It's also one they don't do recaps ever, so it's like
No.
if you start in like season 2, you don't know a damn thing, you know nothing. So I'm gonna say about a 7. Cancelability, I'm gonna say a 9, and I think more that goes just because like they didn't flesh out a lot of plots. It was a lot of like there wasn't anything extra. It was you're gonna do this one thing, then you're gonna be done. So cancelability to me in that regard is like there's not enough to keep it going. So I think it loses a point there for me, but still a 9. Excitability 7. It's a pretty exciting show for sure. So it's 23. Hey
Nice.
Jack Assless, where are you at?
Right here.
You are up.
I think I messed up.
What'd you do?
My next
Put his
show,
assless chips.
my next show I think is on the same network as the one that I first used.
That's okay. It's fine. This is about nostalgia.
Nostalgia?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's picking
Also-
another kid's WB show.
Okay, so it was
Code Lyoko was French animation,
I did see that.
like Ladybug and Cat Noir.
Fun fact, I met Cat Noir's voice actor Saturday.
Very
Bryce
cool.
Patterson. Which he also voices Meliodas and Zeldris, which I did not know.
Mhm.
But he is. My next
Also, Code Lyoko Evolution is the live action version. It has 26 episodes.
How?
It ended in December 19th. April of 2020.
So my next show is it's an oldie but goodie. It is from 2003. Let's see if you guys can get it. It has a bald guy in it.
2003. Is he the main character?
He is one of the main characters. There are 4.
I'm going to guess it's Ultimate Muscle.
Ooh, that would have been a good one. It is not Ultimate Muscle.
From Kids WB.
There is a dragon in it.
I know what it is.
The
It's
show
Shaolin
is
Showdown.
Yes.
I'm here for this. I love Shaolin Showdown.
Shaolin Showdown.
It
Shaolin
is
Showdown was such nonsense.
but it had a
I
storyline.
challenge you to Shaolin Showdown.
Gongi Tenpai.
Gongi Tampa.
It was a show about 4 people that have gathered at this monk temple that pretty much had nothing in common. Omi was the only monk there, Shaolin monk. And there's Raimundo, who was pretty much just a thug. Kimiko
He wasn't a
was
thug. He's supposed to be a surfer kid.
Then there was Kimiko, that was just like a city girl. And Clay, that was the cowboy of the group. Like country, down to earth. They had to go with Wushu and collect the Shaolin artifacts that him and his master Dashi.
Yes. No,
Yeah,
I don't.
Dashi was a name in it.
It's the Eye of Dashi was one of the
Oh.
items.
Monk Wong. Oh, I'm trying to do it off memory.
Huh. Master Monk gone. And then
That was
Master
the.
Fung.
I said those were the masters that were at the temple with them. I was trying to remember the original.
Oh, Grandmaster Dashi. You were right.
Yeah. See, my memory serves well. Can't remember anything from school, but TV shows got it nailed.
Let's see, autism.
The tisms.
It's the tism.
Yeah, the storyline went pretty well. If they gathered the artifact, it would almost wind up being in the next episode. And they were fighting Wuya, and then Jack had a last name. Spicer.
Jack Splicer. Oh, no, Spicer. And then Wuya was the evil
Ghost that
Ghost
eventually
thing.
turned into human.
A woman.
Spoilers.
Mhm. We don't gotta say spoilers.
The excitability when this came on.
It was very cool.
The amount of times we probably said Gongi Tenpai.
Gongi Tenpai.
And let's be real, the artifacts, pretty sweet.
I'm trying to find a list of the actual
Shaolin items.
Yeah, the Shaolin, the
I was gonna say their main ones were like
Shangon
the Eye of Dashi, the Orb of Tsunami, Serpent's Tail.
Because each one of them had like a signature one, and they had a bunch of extra ones.
Because they could get bonus power from their signature ones.
Because it was like the Eye of Dashi was the fire one, that was Kimiko's. There was the Sword of Storms, which I think was Raimundo's.
That's what Raimundo's.
Orb of Tsunami was.
Yep.
Omi's. And then Fist of Temigong.
Yeah.
Fist of Temigong. Then Jack Spicer's was the monkey staff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Clay also liked to use the 2-ton tunic.
Mm-hmm. That's just because he was strong enough to actually still move.
And then I think it was Kimiko and Jack Spicer that got into the Shaolin Showdown of the Yin Yang Yo-Yo, because it was actually 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you go use the Yin Yang Yo-Yo to travel into the different dimension and back out, you either became good and you're good and evil switched if you had the.
You had to come out with both yo-yos. And then I think the Jade Dragon was the absolute worst Shengang Wu, personal opinion.
What was that one again?
That was the one that was covered in soot, and they couldn't figure out what it was because Mushu couldn't remember a black dragon, and then it was actually the Jade Dragon. Because when they cleaned it off, it went on a rampage and started turning everybody jade, and they had to cover it back in soot. And they were like Jade Warrior zombies because it was turning people to jade and they were becoming puppets to it.
Gotcha.
Tangle Web Cone, Third Arm Sash.
This show also had a continuation show. And it was called Shaolin Chronicles. So Shaolin Showdown was a really great show. And I'm really mad at Monde for picking that.
You can't pick everything.
Yeah, I feel that.
No.
I could have said no. I could have been like, fuck you. Fuck your pick.
Could have told me to pick another one because that was from the same network.
No, that's fine. Plot understandability 9. It's a pretty easy plot to follow. And the show also did the whole like last time on this show. Cancelability 9. There wasn't really much you could cancel the show over.
I mean, sometimes Umi said some.
Yeah, but that was just because he was ignorant. Actually, no, sorry. I'm going to do an 8 because the later seasons when Wuya becomes a person and she like tries to like sleep with Raimundo to lure him over is fucking creepy.
She does try to seduce him and she's like a 1,000-year-old witch.
It's so weird.
And he's 16? There's 16.
Yeah, he's a kid.
Clay's 18. Clay's 17.
Clay's the only adult.
Yeah. Besides the
Yeah,
Masters.
very weird. Very weird. So I'm going to say an 8 for cancelability. And then excitability, I'm going to say 7. Because this was excitable to us, but I don't think it was incredibly well received outside of us. A very niche group of people, if you know what I mean. So what did I say? 8, 8, 7?
I thought you said 9, 8, 7.
Oh, sorry, 9, 8, 7. So that's 26. 24. Sorry.
So cancelability, I'm going to go with a 7 just because Umi said some. I know Umi was ignorant, but he just says everything out loud.
Yeah. He didn't think about nothing.
Excitability 7. I'm going to go with 6. This show's just nonsense. It's more nonsense than plot. They make up the rules for the Shaolin Showdown. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what the previous one was. They can just make up a whole new one. And then it just shifts to a different dimension.
Yep, that's fair.
But the plot was they were trying to collect all the Shengang Wu to stop Wu Ye's revival.
That's a goal. They failed it.
I love the immediate, that's a goal.
For that, it's going down to a 5.
This bitch.
So that's a 19. It was a fun show. I liked it. The plot was nonsense. Raimundo just leaves. Then it turns out he's a spy. He comes back. They don't trust him.
Yeah, I don't think he's a spy. I think he just gets persuaded to leave.
Yeah.
Right. He's a double agent.
Oh, you mean like when he goes over to Wu Ye's side?
Yeah. Because then he ends up with a lot of them.
I forgot about that.
And then he comes back over and betrays Wu Ye right at the end, and everyone's all like, what? And then Master Dashi was all like, oh, yeah, that's right. You did do that.
I planned that. That's horseshit.
Yeah.
Because
Raimundo is the only one with street smarts to do it.
Because he's supposed to be like an inner city kid from New York.
Yeah.
All right.
And the cast lineup kind of sounds like a joke from a 90s TV show.
It does.
A cowboy, a monk, and a city girl walk into a bar. They fight a scientist with a monkey tail.
If you were to give that premise to someone, they'd be like, what are you on and can I have some? Okay. So I did Nick, my first one. So I'm going to go. I'm surprised we haven't had one from this network yet. Oh, we did. Code Lyoko. I am picking a Cartoon Network show. This is you talked about a nonsense show before. I am picking I'm picking the nonsense show from our childhood.
Oh, so
it's a little older than Blackjack. This has
Flapjack.
Oh, it's a little older than Flapjack. That's what I meant. I don't know why I said Blackjack. This is
I'm gonna check Silver.
Oh my god. I've never talked about this, so the thing is you're gonna be right. And that's what makes me so mad. I'm gonna pick a different one now, just to fuck you.
Life does it every day to him.
It does. Alright, Silver, I sent it.
Okay.
What did he say?
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
It's not Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is older, though.
It is older, yeah. This is around the same time. I'm picking The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. So there's kind of a plot to this show. There's a little bit. So Billy and Mandy are friends. Friends is a loose term. They care for each other. Friends. And Mandy ends up beating Grim in a game of limbo and creates a contract with him where he has to be their best friend forever and do whatever they want to do forever. So he is now bound to them. So the Grim Reaper, with all the powers of the Grim Reaper, has to care with these children and has to play with them, which brings all the hijinks. The show has so many great quotables, so many funny moments as you watch it. Great side characters. It spawned like a whole different show, like that Hector Con Carne show or Evil Con Carne came from this show. Yeah, it was just a really good show. It also lasted way longer than I think it should. Well, I expected it to. I think it was like 6 seasons, maybe.
It was like outrageously long.
Yeah.
It felt like it.
Yeah. 6 seasons, 86 episodes. But like everyone remembers this had the best spinoffs too. The Halloween episode with the Jack Pumpkin guy was great. When Billy has the spider kid.
Jeff.
Yeah, he's poking with a stick going, I'll be whatever you want me to be, Dad. I want you to be Dad. I have that meme saved on my phone.
We should have changed one of the categories to be, was it hilarious?
Mm-hmm.
This one would have scored pretty high.
I count excitability as that for me. Like, because I get excited when shows are funny. So if a show isn't like an action show, I'm going to count excitability as like, oh, it's comedy. So do with that information what you will.
I will. But I do believe Silver is first with you. Oh, he did the
Oh, it's going to be bad, I know. But this is like one of my favorite childhood shows. Which explains why I'm such a fucked up person.
Yeah. The plot is pretty much
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Straight agreed. Damn.
We all a little autistic.
I'm going to have to give the plot at least a
7?
5.
7.
I'm going to say 5.
Ah, damn.
It's there, but it's not there. I mean, over the seasons, it's like one plot hook per season.
Yeah. That's what a lot of kid shows were, though. You got to keep the attention.
They're episodic.
Yeah. I think that should deserve a 6 for sure. Because it's got a lot of really good plot hooks. You know, the one where they have to escape hell, where they have the trial where Grimm is suing them. But they do it over the whole season. That makes it it's a season-long goal. That's a plot.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with 5.
Ah, you fucker.
So I think this is the first time a pandering hasn't worked.
I'm pissed.
Cancelability. The new age kids, I don't think they go well with
I feel like
Billy
it would be
Mandy.
more of a seasonal use.
I will
for Billy.
say, yeah. So I think a lot of it, like a lot of the comedy when you look back on it, is actually pretty safe. Like there's not a lot of like suggestive things. It's just like funny comedy.
Yeah.
It's just like
Or
loud and
Goldie Butt.
bombastic.
Mm-hmm. It's I was going to say slap humor.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
They do
Cartoon
get slapped
violence.
a lot.
Yeah, they do get slapped a lot.
Because Billy gets destroyed in some of those episodes.
Mm-hmm. The one that gets his nose ripped off.
Yeah.
And it like
Which
runs
one?
away.
I mean, he loses his face a couple times. It's just a skeleton.
He matches Grimm.
Oh, they made fun of what is it? Ash versus Evil Dead. The character with the one he's got the hand that he just interchanges with a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. You're the Hulk Hogan guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a 7. Just for the imagery. I know it's not as bad as Skibbity Toilet, but...
Skibbity
Delgado.
toilet.
That's his name.
Haas
Delgado.
Delgado.
Once again, right out of memory.
Excitability, I'm going to give it a 8. Because I like Billy Mandy.
Much appreciated. So you said
The
5, 7, 8.
Yes.
My score may be not as
It's,
nice.
20... 5
20.
and 7 is 12. Let's say,
I think it's 20.
Princess Mononoke scared Monde.
It did, but now I could probably watch it.
Did
But
this
back
scare
then,
you as
yes.
a kid?
Yes, arrows flying at like Mach 12 and like yopping heads off with just arrows. It's like, okay, this little arrowhead just took off somebody's head. What the fuck? And there wasn't even magic or anything surrounding it. So it's like, why? Why do that? Side tangent done. Plot understandability. I'm going to have to give it a 3 because there was absolutely no plot. Like, they'd make references, and then, like, the spider egg was, like, one of the only things that ever came back up in it.
That came back a lot.
No.
Jeff the spider.
That came
Like,
back a lot.
Yeah.
The guy that was in hell, Jeff's dad, not Billy, but the other guy that actually created Jeff, came back a lot.
There was a guy that created Jeff.
Yeah, he was also like a spider person.
I just remember Billy.
Yeah, I just remember Billy.
Oh God, what is his name?
Okay. I'll bump it up to a 5 because Fredburger comes back a lot.
Fred
and
Fredberg does come back a lot.
So Fredburger here is saving you.
I'm trying to find his name.
I do not remember the creator because he was in a trunk of Grimm's where that's where Billy found him.
There's Irwin that comes back a lot too. Dracula
Irwin's
comes back
mom
a
was
lot.
a mummy, and
A
her
mummy. And his
and his-
grandpa was a Dracula.
oh, Dracula. Scrape and lick.
Nurgle, that's what I was thinking of.
I know the name. I can't picture the face. Oh.
He had a kid too.
He had a kink with somebody because they tried to teach him to be nice.
His kid was like half human. Because he's supposed to be, I think, a demon.
Yeah. And like he's terrified of Mandy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think everyone in the show's terrified of Mandy.
Absolutely.
Even the brain meteor person.
Principal Good Vibes. The Boogeyman. Of course, Fredburger.
Fredburger.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
Judge, I got to go pee-pee.
I still gotta... Anyway.
So...
I feel like this show is just going to be tangents.
Cancelability. I mean, depending if some people wanted to do cease and desists, that's the only cancelability I think maybe.
Yeah, but it'd be
because they did
tough.
do some pretty rough crossover like into other things territory. I'll give it an 8 for cancelability because it could have went on with how much chaotic stuff it could have went. Because they still could have crossed over into Pokemon. They dabbled in Dragon Ball Z.
They dabbled in Dragon Ball Z. They did a Star Wars episode. They did Dungeons and Dragons.
And excitability, I'm going to give it a 7 because it was good, but there was a lot of repeats.
What did you say for the middle?
Middle one?
Yeah.
8.
8. So 5, 8, 7?
Yeah.
Isn't that exactly what Silver just rated it?
I don't know, is it?
Yeah, 20.
Oh. You got a perfect 20?
Perfect 20.
Yeah, we rated the same, just in different places.
Oh.
Cool. I forgot the episode with the nerds where they make the snake. They summon the snake back from the dead. I want you to be dead.
Or when Billy gets super arms and squirts yogurt out of his armpits.
I just saw that.
And just floods the world.
Okay. I am debating.
Uh-oh, the final pick.
That's never good.
If I want to go with nonsense or if I want to go with a good show.
Always nonsense.
Well, he's went with nonsense for the past 2 ones.
Feel like I don't want to reuse an animation network, or else I'd do this Nickelodeon one. Nickelodeon had some hits back in the day.
They did.
Well, think of the ones we talked about. Wild Thornberries, Avatar. I think TMNT was on there for a little bit. after
see it,
Kids
though.
WB went down.
That makes me feel better. I'm gonna label TMNT as Nickelodeon.
Okay.
that way we all three did a Nickelodeon.
I don't remember Shaolin Showdown being on Kids WB. I remember it being on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I looked it up and it said Kids WB.
That's strange.
I think it was on Cartoon Network first couple seasons, and then they switched to WB.
Okay, that
Kids
would make
WB
sense.
took a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to go with one from the Vortex, CW Vortex, not Kids WB, Digimon.
You dick. The
first
original Digimon?
Isekai
The original Digimon.
with Agumon?
Yeah. I could technically go with any of them because they're just all 1 year long shows.
Mm-hmm. They all fall within that time frame.
I just think that the original ones set the pace for the following ones. And the Digi Eggs were a lot cool. Were cool in 02. And then Guilmon and Tamers and stuff were awesome. But Tamers could get you canceled. That is with the not e-reader.
The Digivice?
No,
The
the
DNA
red goo.
Digivolution?
The goo that was deleting
Oh.
everything. It's not the e-reader, it's
No.
The Digivirus? D-Reaper.
Yeah, D-Reaper.
They call it the Digivirus too, I think.
Yeah.
Why? It just acts like how Slime does.
Yeah. Well, it's deleting everything. And plus, Leomon died in that season.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to go with the original one.
But everybody died in that season.
Shh. No, just Angie. No one dies in Digimon.
No one dies in Digimon.
Yeah,
they just turn into Digi Eggs.
Everyone dies.
Plus the English opening for Digimon, the soundtrack.
It's a hit. It's a slap.
It's a hit. Which Digimon, for our younger listeners, these 7 kids fell down, got transported to the digital world where they met their partners, Digimon, in their in training form. They later meet them. They're trying to get back home. They're traveling through this world with them. Their Digimon partners are getting stronger. They just have adventures and they're trying to get home. Eventually they get home, then they got to go back because they got to save the world. Yeah.
They also need to find the 8th Digidestin when they go back.
Which ended up being Ty's sister, who was supposed to be on the trip with him but got sick.
Mm-hmm. I start for you.
I thought I started for Silver.
Okay, I'm wrong. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter, but I mean, okay, plot understandability, Digimon. I'd say at first it's a little rocky because nobody knows what the heck's going on. They just want to get home. But then they eventually figure out that they need to get home and use their Digimon to be friends. Mm-hmm. I think they figure that out within like the first 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say
then Jedi comes in.
These are not the Digimon you were looking for.
Which I believe is probably all of our first experience with a Jedi.
Yeah.
No. Not even close. I watched Star Wars way before I watched Digimon.
So understandability, I would say it's a 10. Modern cancellation, I mean Angie Wumon, Lady Devimon.
Which the designs haven't changed even in the modern versions. They're still showing them like they have been.
Yeah. Yes, Mage.
This show also had the Pokemon syndrome where it had a couple episodes that had to be removed because of the seizure effects.
That's not a whole series going down, though.
No, but it's a couple episodes.
I mean, I guess you're right. They are still the same costumed they're not like Harpy Lady that got nerfed.
Yeah.
Nerfed. Nerf is defined as making something actively worse. Nerfed.
I mean, Soul Christ. Release also did get nerfed too. So I'm going to give it A 9, just because maybe they don't like putting little children in danger, because TK and Kari are like 5.
Yeah, they are kids.
They are like, because I think they're like maybe 7 or 8, but
I think they're
they are
like
single
6.
digits.
Yeah, I think they're like 6. They're sub 10 for sure.
Like, I get that you're sending them to camp with their big older siblings, but
It's not good.
yeah. So I'm gonna go with a 9, solely for that reason at this point. And excitability, yeah, that's a 10. I love Digimon. Fuck you for picking Digimon.
What did you give him?
A 10, 9, 10.
Oh my god.
A 29. I'm gonna lose again.
Well, good thing is I'm not going to be as nice. I was a Pokemon kid. I liked Pokemon way more than I liked Digimon. You picked the season with the worst animation for sure.
It was the first one back in 1999.
Yeah, but the animation was still terrible. It was also a lot of recycled animation. They didn't even have the money to be like, let's reanimate this. It was like the same. Every attack was the same with a changed background. It was the same thing. They were like blue background. Oh, they're in the desert. Brown background. And they would just change the background to be the same thing.
So they got the official ages here of the kids.
Oh god.
Ty was 10, Kari was 9.
No way.
What?
No way. How old was TK?
All right. So Kari was born in 1991. So
Okay.
currently older than Monde.
God damn it.
Ty was born in
90. He's 1 year older.
yes, 90.
Was it TK that was the other young one?
Yes.
Yeah, TK. Wataru.
How old was he?
Wataru?
Born in 91.
No way. I refuse to believe that.
That is such horseshit.
That's bullshit. So I'm going to say plot understandability. I'm going to say an 8. It was a pretty easy to follow plot. Modern cancelability, 7. Because, yeah, that was a lot of like the Angewomon thing, the seizure thing. And then excitability, I'm going to say an 8. Because when you start getting into the show, it was pretty good. But, the animation took a lot of that out for me, I think. It didn't help that I saw it later on in life, so that was worse. So 7, 8, 8.
You mean 878?
Yeah, sorry. It's all the same.
For a total
23. I gave Silver 22, 23, 23. And that brings us to Monde for his final one.
It's one that may bring back some fun memories, or it may bring back some painful memories.
Oh, God.
And I'm sure Mage will... I can't spell it. God damn it. I think it has a K in it.
What the fuck?
Cubics?
There it is. It did have a K in it. Oh, it is like right on the cusp.
It's okay. Go with it.
This is literally from 2007 to 2011.
We'll give it to you because you need a handicap at this point.
It is a show we all got into. We all got a hold of figures, and we all said I was dangerous when I got them in my hand.
Oh, yeah.
It is
the
Bakugan Battle
cards.
Brawlers. You had the ability cards, you had the gate cards, and then you had the little figures that you rolled onto the card that were metal, and they would just deploy. And they were trying to save the Bakugan world because Bakugan started becoming real and evolving.
I still get Bakugan videos on my Instagram every now and then.
I wish I would. I need to start looking up.
God, Bakugan was a fun show.
It was. The cards were even funner to get a hold of.
So I will say, It was a fun show. What you're talking about is different because you're talking about like the toys and everything.
I am, but the show was pretty good too.
Okay. I get to start first anyway, so I am gonna say so for Bakugan, I'm gonna say plot understandability 7 because it did get kind of hard to follow. They're going to New Vestroya and like there were so many seasons. The later seasons got incredibly complicated. Modern cancelability, there wasn't a lot, and it went on. It's still going. I think they just came out with like a new version of it. I think.
Is that Bakugan or is that Beyblade?
I think it's Bakugan. I'm looking at it right now.
Hmm.
It's like Bakugan Battle Planet or something. Yeah. Either way, they're still making toys for it. So, I'm gonna say probably a 9 for that. Because your point, kids were doing dangerous shit with the cards, so that takes a little bit away from it. I think.
What? That doesn't fall under our category.
It does for cancelability. So 9 for cancelability. Excitability 8. It was a pretty good show. I really liked it. That's a 24 from me.
What was the middle one?
Cancelability was an 8, I think.
So 7, 8, 8.
Yeah, 23.
Plot 6.
Oh, ew, this is a Canadian show? Gross. Lower my score by 1. 22.
No take backs. These all scores are final.
Plot for me is going to be a 6. I just felt like there was a lot of unnecessary battles.
But they needed the battles so they could evolve.
Yeah, and the evolutions. Completely random.
That's like saying Pokemon evolutions are completely random.
They are. But they're not as random as Digimon's. But I'll agree with Mage with cancelability and excitability, both 8s. For 22.
Oh, that was when I stopped watching the show, I guess. I didn't realize the third like season or series of it was called. So there was Bakugan, then there was New Vestroya. I remember watching that one,
Mm-hmm.
and then the one after that was called Gundalian Invaders.
Yeah, wasn't that the one where like the weird Bakugan started like popping up in the real world?
I think so. Yeah,
It was like almost Digimon-esque.
goes to show you if toys are popular, they'll sell it forever. All right, so I think that just leaves me, correct?
Nope, that's all. We're taking you with 2 scores only, so
Dang, what a dick.
you'll probably still beat Monde.
So I noticed a glaring weakness with our lists when we looked at this. We have Kids WB and we have Cartoon Network and we have Nick. We didn't do a single Disney show. So I'm picking a show that I don't know if it originally aired on Disney, but I know I watched it on Disney and it's owned by Disney now. So I am picking X-Men,
Didn't that air
the
on
animated
Fox?
series.
That aired on Disney XD, I believe.
Yeah.
Disney's edgy teen animations
So
channel.
yeah, this was the animated series from. It started in '92, and ran. I think it ran for supposed to be like 5 years, 5-ish years. This show was incredible. It was one of my favorite shows to watch as a kid. It was the one It was by like Saban Entertainment, which was a weird company at the time, but it had a giant cult following when it came out. And I think very closely to like Avatar, it covered so many like big life things. Like the X-Men, the idea behind X-Men was literally about like the civil rights movement. was like accepting people that are different and understanding and everything like that. And they get into some really touchy subjects in this show. I was a big fan of the show as a kid. Plus, it's all the great superheroes, right? Wolverine, Storm, Professor Xavier, Magneto. You get all them.
Heroes, quotation marks.
Okay, heroes and villains.
Aren't they
You get it.
vigilantes?
What?
Aren't they just vigilantes?
No, they're actually heroes. They run, like, the team is ran by Xavier and they do good in the world.
Does the world accept them?
Ish.
That's the whole plot of
That's the whole plot of the show. Is that they're mutants and the world doesn't accept them. But yeah, it's a really
there's a whole subplot of making giant robots to exterminate them.
Mm-hmm. Not really subplot. That's more just the whole plot.
That sounds like a
subplot.
What'd you say?
That sounds like a goal to eradicate them.
Oh, get fucked.
No one can hear you, you floor goblin.
Crawl out from under your desk. Go touch grass.
You quoted Donnie perfectly there.
Go back under your desk.
I believe I go first.
Yep.
I really did like X-Men's plot.
Give me perfects.
It's weird. X-Men 96, right?
97 is the new one.
97. No, well, this one's 96. Because this one came out in 96, right?
It came out 92. It ran 92 to 97, I think. 92, 5.
Because I thought they ended at 96, and that's why 97 is the new one.
No, it ended in 97. It was 92 to 97.
Huh. Well, close enough.
Yeah.
This one gave us the Wolverine looking deeply into the photo meme.
Yes. It also, this had a lot of crossovers too. So like Spider-Man was a big crossover character in this. I think Deadpool was in an episode or two. There's a lot of like crossing over.
I'm going to give plot a 8.
Plot an 8.
I'm going to give cancelability a 9. And excitability a 7. Because it wasn't really one of my favorite ones at the time.
So you said 797 or 897.
897.
Okay, cool. 24.
For a...
All right, Desk Goblin. He was just waiting.
So X-Men kind of falls into the same category as DC things. I don't understand it. I watched it, yes, but it wasn't one of my favorite things. So the plot kind of went over my head most of the time. So I'm going to give plot understandability a 7. Cancelability, I mean, if this is the X-Men I'm thinking of, then there was a scene where Rogue, I believe, where she finds her powers. Is this the right X-Men I'm thinking of, Silver?
I believe so, where she accidentally starts touching in people and she draining their life out of them. She has to run away.
And like the one
No. You're thinking of the newer one. Mm-hmm. That when they were actually going to school and they had the guy that protruded bones from his elbows and such.
And it had Quicksilver and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a newer version.
That's the one I know. I'm very unfamiliar with this one.
Is that's Evolutions, I think, right? Does that sound right? It's animated, right?
Yeah.
I think it's X-Men Evolutions.
That sounds right. I think I remember that from being said a lot.
It had this cast in our Discord.
Yeah. Yep, that's
because the guy with the bones, I can't remember his name. He was made for this show. He wasn't an actual DC X-Men character, not DC. He was actual X-Men.
Why do I not?
I don't remember this show.
Why don't I remember this X-Men? That looks like the same animation, though.
Because I remember the orange suit Wolverine.
Yeah, because that's the rogue outfit, and that's the good-looking Nightcrawler.
I was just gonna say that's the good Nightcrawler too.
And that's Kitty.
Where can I watch this? I'm gonna rewatch
Yeah,
this now.
It's probably
this
on
is
Disney.
the one I remember.
Yeah, so this is
Yeah.
not what I'm referring to.
Yeah, this is the one I'm thinking of.
This is cool, but this isn't what I was referring to.
So that drops your plot down to a 1.
Get fucked. It's the same plot.
Except now they're going to school, not trying to save the world.
Yes.
Yeah. But they're going to a school for... Oh, I guess they're trying to hide their mutantness.
Some of them are.
Yeah. Cancelability... I don't know, because I don't know the other one you're talking about, but this one I would have gave it like a 6 or 7. Maybe a 6, because like at one point Rogue starts getting her clothes ripped because she's just absorbing so many powers and winds up like touching everybody, and they touch her.
I will say there isn't a lot of like sexual innuendos and things in the original X-Men, in the one that I'm talking about. It's more like there's some graphic like violence.
So
that's the extent
like a
of
genocide.
it. No, not as much genocide. It's more like just like fighting violence. Like I think it has the scene where Magneto rips out. No, that original one doesn't.
Isn't the Sentinel Cable, genocide in the original one? Because it pops up in 97.
I think at the end it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
We'll keep that at a 6. And excitability, I just really didn't get into X-Men. So I'm gonna have to give it a 5.
You guys are lame.
So what was your 3 scores?
I already forgot.
Can we go 8, 7, 5.
I'm glad Mage had it.
20?
20.
Okay, I'll tally them up, and you guys can do honorable mentions while I do math. I'm always
Monde,
stuck
do you have
with
any
math.
honorable mentions?
You have the massive list. You can start off, and I'll just piggyback off what you don't say.
Piggyback off them. Yeah, so you threw me through a loop with the list because I had a lot that I wanted to use, but I was like, one of these criteria is going to be a 0. So I was like, can't use that one.
Yeah, I was in that boat too. I realized it after I said it.
You made the card.
I know, that's why I said I fucked up. Probably why I lost.
Cartoon Network ones, I had a code named Kids Next Door, Justice League, and Young Justice. Both are really good shows. Go watch them if you haven't. And Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Great show. Kids WB, I had Batman Beyond, Static Shock. I really like superheroes, if y'all couldn't tell. I don't know if y'all remember this. You remember Ozzy and Drix?
I think so. It sounds familiar.
Do you guys remember the movie Osmosis Jones?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the spin-off show of that. I adored that show. It was so good. I'm glad I didn't use that because you guys would have. Nickelodeon, I had Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, obviously Avatar, and Rocket Power. That was my like throwback one I was going to use.
Rocket Power.
I like Rocket Power. My other Disney ones I had, Kim Possible, American Dragon Jake Long, Lilo and Stitch the series. I thought was really cute when I was a kid.
That was really good.
This is a blast from the past. Buzz Lightyear Star Command.
Yeah, when they're in the training school.
Do you remember that? That was like one of those like 2 a.m. Disney shows that would always come on randomly, and I watched it every single weekend. I would wake up specifically at like 1:30 so I could watch that show. But yeah, that was my massive list.
So yeah, for Cartoon Network, Courage the Cowardly Dog was going to be one of mine.
That's a good one.
Kids WB. There was Ultimate Muscle.
I've never seen an episode of Ultimate Muscle.
Jackie Chan Adventures. Shoot, I don't think that was good. There's Cardcaptor Sakura. I don't think that one was on 4Kids though. There is one I'm thinking of, and I know Silver would know it. It had the spirit of the samurai, like the guy like put the spirit inside his body, and he got the.
You're talking about
Is that Samurai Champloo? Is that what that's called?
no, it's kind of
Shaman King.
Shaman King. They rebooted it recently.
Mm.
And then the Bobobo.
Bo.
Kill
And
me.
then the spin-off of Bobobo, which was Marsh. Do you remember it with the talking mace hammer thing?
Yeah, Mars, Mars.
Like, I had a good list, but most of it was animes, and I was like, I don't know if animes are allowed.
Wait,
I
MARRS?
think it has a picture of a
Like 2
hammer
R's?
that has a face on the ball. It's like a ball and hammer, and then it could like change into different weapons once it got like stronger.
Having the damnedest time finding this. He's bringing up the
It's
show
because it
Fired
has
on
an-
Mars.
I think it's called Umlaut, but I'm probably wrong. Above the A. My honorable mentions:
That's a good call.
Lunatics Unleashed, which is like the future.
I loved that show, man.
Bugs and Daffy, all their descendants. Danny Phantom,
That was so cool. I had that. Danny Phantom's
Puka.
such a good show.
Puka?
Puka was a Disney show. It was all
Who's
nonsense.
Puka?
Oh, Puka! I remember the little Chinese girl.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Kill me. I hated that show.
What year was that one? That one just reminded me of the other one. You might say it.
Ed and Eddie.
We didn't mention Ed, Edd and Eddy. We went through this whole thing. Well, to be fair, that show deserved to get canceled, and it didn't have a single essence of a plot whatsoever.
Scoring wise,
Oh, yeah,
with a
that's right, we
total
still
of 145. Wait. Are we
Who
doing
lost?
our bet that we get assigned a loser 3 episodes or 1 movie?
I like that, yeah. 3 episodes or 1 movie.
I don't like this. I have kids.
Yeah, they can watch it with you. Don't worry.
Yeah, you try to get the two-year-old tornado to do something.
We just gotta find something entertaining and in English so you can do other stuff and listen to it.
Fair.
So first
I did
place,
lose.
145, me. Second place with 140, Mage.
I figured.
Of course.
I knew it was
And
close.
continuing the trend of a 5-point difference with 135, Monde. So yeah, 135, 140, 145. Since I end up making the wheel anyway, so and you just gotta choose the categories again, Monde. And now you also get to watch a TV show.
Do you have one in mind that you want him to watch?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, you gotta come together.
I was thinking of this one called Ranmaru.
Oh, Ranmaru 1/2.
I guess, I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of it on the TikTok, and it looks
It's-
interesting. They get wet, and then they change gender. It's like, I don't get it.
That's the new updated version. Well, the old one did too, but it's like a popular anime from the 80s. They just rebooted. I haven't even.
am getting a wheel ready. I think it should be like a popular show that you and I like that he just hasn't watched.
Yeah. We know
But
he
I'm
has
trying to think of what we
Crunchyroll
could do. We know he does have Crunchyroll.
and Disney.
All right. Well, we'll think of that probably this week and get it to you. I'm gonna spin.
Okay.
You want me to spin the wheel, or did you want to pick one?
We should just start assigning numbers to these things and then roll a dice.
There are already assigned numbers in the Google Drive.
Yeah.
Okay. I would
We
like
have that, actually.
I would like number 68.
Let me see if we have that.
Have that many?
I don't know. Mage sent that list the one day, and I thought there was a shit ton of them. But I think you
There
said the
is, but
list
that's a
was
big
nice.
number. Do anywhere 1 to 46.
I got it.
Mm-hmm.
35.
35. That's a really good one, actually. Coolest weapons.
All right.
It's a
Just give
very
me
like
Yeah.
basic boy category.
Girls can like weapons too.
Yeah,
We're
not
not
as much as
sexist.
us.
We're not
Where's the
sexist
Scarlet?
as our female viewers, listeners.
All
Urza
right.
Scarlet is a weapon master.
I gotta get the fuck to bed.
Wait, all right,
Here's
You
so
can't. I'm gonna say we need the audio stuff. You can't exit.
I know. Anything else? We good?
what about Down to Down? Have you seen that yet?
Don to Don.
All right. Here's Chaotic with the outro.
Hello, Chaotic here. Thank you for listening to Archetype Apocalypse. Mage, Monde, and Silver will be back to debate soon, but if you just can't wait to get your hands on more, check out the other projects within Mythic Gates on Discord or at monstersmythe.wixsite.com. A quick tip since Silver can't hear me either. If you sub to Patreon, you get episodes a week early. Don't tell them I told you. See you next time, AA Fiends.